Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me at Ryandale. In this episode, we're going to be creating a enemy AI, or somewhat similar to it. But before that, we're going to need to make the level. And I need to make the level inside this house. So, the idea is you walk in and it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. So, let's play the clip of me making that. Woohoo! Alright, now that we're done making that, it's time to create the AI of the enemy. So I'm gonna go ahead and go game object, create other cube, just for right now, cube. And this is gonna be my enemy. And eventually you could change this out to whatever you want, but I am going to make it a red cube. And I'll make it somewhat a little bit larger. So we have this red cube, and let me make a texture for it. Textures, create, material, name it enemy, and click on the enemy, make it red, because enemies are always red, and drag it on. So that's our enemy, and now let me make the script. So as always, we're going to go to our scripts, right click, create JavaScript, and name this enemy move. Alright. And double click on this. And, alright, so our player. You know, at this rate, it's going to take forever. Activate hyperdrive. Alright, so now that we have that script done, I'm going to go over it real quick. We have the var player transform, the move speed, the minimum distance of the movement, the max distance of the movement. And we have, it faces the player, and it moves at a certain rate. And then that's pretty much it. So go ahead and save that. Go back in. And you're going to click on your enemy. I have to remove this, remove component. So you're going to click on your enemy. And you're going to drag the enemy move onto the enemy. And you will see the player in parentheses transform. Go ahead and drag your first person controller onto that. Alright, so now when we hit play, the enemy runs towards us down the hall. Pretty scary. However, we want it to do something when we get in a certain area. Now, trying to think of the best way of doing it. I want it to play a sound. So we're going to add a new script, create JavaScript, and name it enemy sound. And go ahead and open up that. And I will type this out real quick, and I'll be right back with you guys. Alright guys, so this is just the basic simple script. It checks to if someone has entered the trigger, and if it has the tag of player, then it plays the sound scare sound. So go ahead and save that. And we'll also go ahead and add that to our enemy. We've got a little bit of an error. Where's the error? Oh, just forgot a little thing up there. No biggie. Alright, go back to our player, or not a player, our enemy, and go ahead and add enemy sound. Go ahead and add the first person controller again, and scare sound. So we got to add a little bit of a trigger to this guy. So add component, we'll do round collider. Let's find a collider. You can do really any collider. I'm going to do a sphere collider just because it kind of gives it a little bit more depth to it. And I'm going to make the radius of it, I'm going to pull it up. So that's about, no, maybe a little bit more. So we'll do that. So when the player comes in contact with that sphere, it's going to play a sound. So yeah. And we got to make its trigger and the scare sound. I'm just going to go in my sounds and I'm going to drag the scare, jump scare that we used earlier. Drag that in there. And let's see if it works. So I did not hear a sound. Why is not? There's no audio source. Oh, of course, we have to add an audio source. Audio source to the sphere so we can hear it. And now if we press play, it's going to jump at us. So yeah, it does play the sound when we enter it. You can hear it continues to play it. So let's take a look at our script here. So it moves. This is what happens when it reaches maximum distance. So if we change the minimum distance down, the player will enter the trigger. So it's like stopping before the player enters the trigger, basically. And we just kind of want the enemy to continue walking into us. So we'll do minimum distance. I'm going to change it to 1. So he's going to get right up in our face. And I'm going to change the move speed to 6. So he's running at us pretty quickly. It screams at us like that. And he won't get off our tail. So we gotta delete him when he does his scream. And the way we could do that is when he reaches this, call what happens. We'll say game object dot delete destroy. I think that might work. Oh, of course I forgot the semicolon. Alright guys, so I got this. However, I have a little bit of a treat for you. I went ahead and created an actual monster and reapplied all the features that we just did and added an animation to it. I know I haven't showed you how to do this, but I just wanted to do it. So this is what we have, what I have now. It's a monster. He runs after you, screams, and then disappears right before your eyes. So we can watch it again. The monster, he comes down the corridor, screams at you, and disappears right before he touches you. So I can go to my monster here. And I just got him on the asset store. And his name's Tyrant Monster. You just search up Tyrant Monster. It's spelled like Tyrant Zombie, my bad. Like that. And I just set it to run and set the animation to loop. Loop and set it to run. And yeah, applied all the stuff to him and he chases after the player. So I think it's pretty cool. And he kind of walks towards you and scary. I don't know. I don't know what I would do if that was happening to me. Alright, well that's all the time I have for today. Thank you. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.